everyone. Happy Friday. I'm here with the question of the week, and this week's question is, what is eating clean? How do you do it? When do you do it? And I'm going to try and go into the basics of eating clean. There's just some basic points I want to make today. The most important thing I want you to know is that I'm going to talk about what I do, what I do in my journey. And as most of you know, I've been off of hCG for over a year and have kept my weight off. And if you've watched some of my other vlogs, you'll have seen that I've done things like go out for Mexican and have margaritas and chips and salsa. Or I have a whole weekend with my girlfriends and it's food, drink. And then when I'm done with that, then I eat clean for a few days, and just like that, it comes off. That's the beauty of resetting the hypothalamus and stabilizing. And that's just one of the benefits of doing hCG. So I'm going to talk about the basics of eating clean and what works for me. And you have to figure out what works for you. For the most part, the basics are going to be the same for everybody. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is cut out all processed foods. So absolutely no processed foods. If it's man-made, don't eat it on clean days. And you need to make sure you get your protein in. But I want you to get your protein in from animal sources. So you want to get your protein in from chicken, beef, fish. So that's where your protein is going to come. And this is so key that you have your protein. There's a lot of articles out there about protein. And if you are on hCG, I strongly suggest Miracle Skinny Drops. I've helped, Jacob's helped, Sean has helped. We've all experienced this. Oh, and Lisa, don't forget my sister. We've all been through this. We've all had experiences. We all know about protein. So refer to that for your protein levels and what you should be doing. The other thing is absolutely no sugar at all. I'm talking you shouldn't be eating sugar anyways. And what's the reason for eating sugar? But if you even use honey or agave nectar or coconut nectar, any of those natural sweeteners, no, absolutely none on clean days. Stevia is a different story. You can have stevia every day because stevia is actually an herb. It's not a natural sweetener. So on your clean day or days, do not have any natural sweeteners and for sure no sugar. And again, the processed foods is going to have hidden sugars in it, so you want to stay away from everything processed. You want to stay away from milk and cheese. You don't have to stay away from all dairy, but you want to stay away from milk and cheese. So you want, and the reason for that is because milk and cheese are both very clogging. And so that's on your clean days, you stay away from, milk and cheese. So you want to get in a lot of green vegetables, green leafy vegetables. The darker leafy green, the better. But you want to try and fit in 3 to 4 cups of vegetables. You want to try, that's raw. You want to try really hard to eat raw vegetables. Sometimes I'll lightly steam like spinach and coconut oil. Definitely I have always 2 cups of lettuce, not iceberg lettuce, and definitely not lettuce from a bag. Lettuce from a bag has preservatives in it, and it's a little bit more starchy. It has starch in it for the preservative. So you definitely don't want lettuce, or lettuce in a bag, and you definitely don't want iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce pretty much has no nutritional value. So you want to go with something like romaine or something just dark leafy is best. You want to have, other vegetables is fine. You want to have broccoli or spinach, asparagus. You can even have, corn I'd stay away from because corn's a little bit more starchy. So corn and beans I'd probably stay away from. However, on my clean days, I do eat corn, I do eat beans, but I have been stabilized for over a year, so I can handle that. I also eat black beans. Black beans are very healthy, and I eat those on my clean days because they are so healthy for you. I just try and stay away from like the sweet potatoes and maybe like the squash, which is a little bit more of a starchy vegetable. And there's so many great vegetables out there that you can have without having the more starchy ones. So try and get 3 to 4 cups of vegetables in. You'll also want to get in a lot of water. So you want to drink a lot of water and you want to drink a lot of detox tea. So I always do that on my clean days. Now, also fruit. Fruit is a really what people call a clean food. And so if you're doing your clean day and fruit doesn't affect you, then you can go ahead and do fruit on that day. However, for me, fruit affects me. I can have 1 serving of fruit a day, and that's pretty much it. I gain when I have too much. My body reacts to the fructose, the natural sugar in fruit, and so my clean days do not include fruit. I never eat fruit on my clean days. So, which leads me to basically my last point I want to talk about. Whether you are on phase 3 or whether you are on phase 4, which I don't really know. That's really not a phase. It's a lifetime phase. So, you know, I don't really believe in doing lifetime sugars and starches or anything anyway. I try really hard to avoid all of those, but definitely not in phase 3 if you're going to do another round of hCG. But you need to figure out as you're going through, let's say you have a day and you notice your scale's up and you've looked over the last couple days and you see nuts is on your list. You've eaten nuts. And nuts are good. They're great. They're a great source of all kinds of vitamins and protein and everything. But you know, I can have like maybe a handful of nuts a day. If I do any more, I gain. So on my clean days, I don't eat nuts. Same with apples. If I have, or you know, if I have an apple and an orange, or an apple and a banana, or 2 apples, then I notice the scale goes up a little bit. I don't have those on my clean days. Some people gain from other things. Mine, it's definitely cheese. I only have 1 ounce of cheese anyways a day, if I have it at all. Nuts, if I have more than 1 ounce or more than, I guess, a handful serving, and fruit. So I watch those on a daily basis. And when you're going through phase 3, you're trying to figure out what foods affect you. So it can be things, you know, different things for different people. And so you have to know what affects you. And if you have figured out what affects you, then you need to eliminate those things on your diet. So, and on your clean days, on your clean diet. So I hope that this helps. I hope I've covered everything. If not, I'm going to come back and put the little bubbles up because sometimes I forget things and I'm not about to record them over. No way. I don't have time for that. So if you don't watch my vlogs and you just listen to them, you may want to start watching them because I've learned things along my journey, and I will put little bubbles up and say, don't do that. This is what I've learned about that. So I will say with Greek yogurt, because I know that I'll get a lot of questions asking, should we have Greek yogurt on our clean days? And I see no reason not to unless it affects you. So I do Greek yogurt. I don't put protein powder in it, however, and the reason is because I just really feel that protein is good for you and it has a lot of vitamins. But on my clean days, I try and keep it down to earth. Everything down to earth. I want to think about, I'm going to go into an organic store and hit the fresh fruits and vegetables and the very lean steaks or lean chicken or eggs that are organic. I'm just going to eat those foods. So although I don't say no Greek yogurt, definitely eat it with only things that don't affect you. So hope you guys have a great Friday, and I'll see you again next week. Ta-ta!